Hi guys,
Mm,
welcome back to another episode on Mindset. And as you all know, we are in that season. Look at my Christmas tree, all set up. Okay, so that's not the reason for this video. So on this episode, I have the pleasure of having with me Abiola, our food scientist. Abiola, you're welcome back.
Hello. Hi. Glad to be back.
Oh, thank you. We're honored to have you actually. So Abiola, so for this month, we're talking about overcoming limiting beliefs. And so I'm just going to be asking you your opinion on this topic. So how do you recognize and identify limiting beliefs?
I would say like when there's like something I'm trying to do and there's just the thoughts in my head kind of like making me feel like I can't do it. I feel like for me that's like a limiting belief. And that's how I always, okay, where's this coming from? Like that's how I always recognize it. Like if I'm trying to do something and I'm not able to like do it, and I know that this is something I'm able to, but like for some reasons I'm not able to do it at the time.
To do it, yeah.
So
So can you share? Okay, yeah. So can you share an example of a belief like that, a limiting belief that you once had, and how you were able to overcome it?
I remember like in college, I was trying to take a class, and the person just told me, "Oh, I can't take it." No reasons, nothing. Just told me I can't take it, and I was like, "That doesn't make any sense. What do you mean I can't take the class?" Like, it just didn't make sense to me. And so like I started like, because I already checked through the curriculum, I was something I knew like, oh, I had an interest in learning about. And so like I just like told my course advisor, and she was like, yeah, it's something you can do, right? And so it just didn't make sense that the person was, and following like the whole scenario, I just found out that the person just felt like based on like my cost of study, she just felt I didn't have the capacity for it. So somehow like along the line, I kind of like internalized what the person said, like, oh, I can't do it. So but that was like a limiting belief for me, like I can't do it just because it was like outside of my department. Like I just felt like I couldn't do it. But like lucky for me, my advisor was like, this is something you can do, but like you just have to like let them know like you'll be able to do it. And I did it. Like,
Oh, okay. So actually, for me, when it comes to limiting beliefs, that are an example that I had and the way I went about it, normally here in the US, everybody, before you even come to the US, most people in Nigeria do already have that mentality, like, and that belief, like, you have to be a nurse in the US to make it. And that is how it is. And when you come to the US and you find yourself in the Nigerian community, they let you understand that no, it's just nursing. I never liked the profession from Nigeria. It's not like, it's just, So I'm an art student, like, so everybody just have things that they liked while growing up. You have a reason why you went to science class, So I had my own reasons for going to art class. I like everything when it comes to most of the courses that I could do, profession that I could end up doing. So when God gave me the grace that, okay, I'll be coming to the US. I'm like, no, I will not do this thing. I don't like it. Even if that, I just had that belief, like this is a limiting belief, but I had that strong mindset about the fact that there will be something different that you can do in US. US is just too big to just have everybody in that field. So when I came, I'm like, no, I'm not going to do this. I don't like it. And when I came was when I had better understanding, like even the nurses that you people are shouting that they have to break their back to make that money because they have to do extra hours. You know how it works. They have to make it. And there are other professions whereby you don't have to break your back to make that money, if you get what I mean. So that's just my own take on that. So I'm glad you're able to do that course eventually. You don't allow that to limit you. So in what ways do you think limiting beliefs can impact your pursuit of goals?
I would say it impacts it in the sense like if you have something you're trying to achieve, right? And someone already said you can't do it, just like the course. Someone said you can't do it. Somehow you kind of like internalize what they're saying, and then you begin to second guess yourself. Even if like you have the capacity to do it, or you have the ability to do it, you just kind of like feel like, oh, I can't do it because they said I can't,
Exactly.
And you don't even like evaluate that, can I actually do it? So even before you start evaluating the things that people say sometimes would like put a kind of doubt in your mind. So that kind of like affects your goals sometimes.
Okay. So then what do you think about external validation? You know, everybody just wants somebody to just approve what they are doing before they can go ahead, whereby you yourself need that validation coming from you yourself. So what do you think about external validation? How do you think it can contribute or hinder somebody's development and growth?
I would say external validation, like while like it's great to seek people's advice on certain things, sometimes seeking their advice could also lead to you like wanting their approval of what you're trying to do, right? And because you've seen like, oh, it worked for them, yeah, sure, it could work for me as well. And so you're like, I need to know if what I'm doing is right. I need to do this. I need to do this. But the reality is, there's sometimes, not all the time, there's like more than one way to do something. And if you continue to like seek their validation on something, you probably wouldn't find the other way to do stuff. That doesn't mean like it's a bad way or like an illegal way or something like that. But at the same time, like, I just feel like seeking external validation, so it can be very dangerous because you're like, oh, if I don't get their validation of this, if they don't get the approval of this, I'm not going to go to the next point. I'm not going to do this. So what happens like if the person moves to a different country or like you're unable to like get them on time and you need to like make a decision like ASAP, like what are you going to do at that point? So, like seeking external validation can be so crazy at times, honestly. But being able to like have a mind of your own and also like knowing when to ask for help. You know, striking a balance is a good way to go, I believe.
Yeah, so yeah, that's true. I think the external validation too can go in different angles, different ways. Even in clique of friends too. Within clique of friends, you know, if you don't have a mind of your own, then your other friends can push you to do what you don't want to do because you just have to let them able to tell you that, oh, you're part of us. You just want to hear that word. You're a big girl now, or you're part of us, and that leads you to doing things you don't want to do, you know? So how do you challenge limiting beliefs? Like, how do you challenge it?
I feel like you can challenge it like the moment you identify what is limiting you from doing what you want to do or like achieving this goal of yours, like evaluate it. Is it actually true, or is it just thoughts in your head? Not all thoughts are true, right? So evaluate it in your head. Is it actually true, or is it just like preventing you? You know, sometimes like the mind is also like protecting you and being like, oh, you can't do this, but actually you can. But because like your mind is trying to protect you, it's telling you can't. So like always like evaluating what the moment you feel like you're being restricted from doing, or like you're being like you're not able to like do what you want to do because of these thoughts or belief you have, like evaluate it. Is it true? Is it actually true? What do I need to do to get to the point where I'm able to do what I need to do, right? And I just feel like evaluating like these thoughts or beliefs that you have.
Well, this is actually very, very powerful, you know. So do you have any final thoughts before we wrap up?
I would also say like to buttress on your point on like friends, like say like in a group of friends there's a particular person who doesn't talk much or like just feels like they don't have enough friends, and you know they're trying to like, you know, be with the cool
validation, be with people.
And so like you're seeking validation from these cool kids. You don't realize that all of you are at the same age, right? You're all trying to figure things out. So like seeking external validation from them, like if it's like dressing or like, or you know they dress better than you do, that's a different thing from seeking external validation. But like you always wanting their approval is kind of like you're all the same age.
You should start checking yourself from that angle.
Like you need to evaluate like what they are doing, is it actually cool or not? So
but I still think everything still boils down to the fact that having a strong mind, like a mind of your own, because once you have a mind of your own, then you won't be easily influenced to do what you don't want to do, because definitely, you know, those people, they know what is right and what is wrong, but because they just want that external validation from whoever, could be their colleague, could be their friend, could be they could be oppressed by somebody. Then, you know, once you start feeling that you're oppressed by somebody and you want to meet up to what they are doing, to be able to be called their friend or to be able to be called a part of them. And that's where the problem is. That means you don't have a mind of your own. Because if you believe that, okay, this thing they have right now, I don't have it right now, but I know that very soon I can have it. You don't have to do what they are doing. It still boils down to you having a mind of your own. Thank you, Biola. Thank you so much for coming to share these words with us, and we hope to bring you back on our next episode.
I would love to be back.
Family, thank you for joining us, and we hope you enjoyed this episode. We hope to see you on our next episode. Thank you.
Bye. All right. Bye.